to invest 10K presently? That's a $1 million question, even we are speaking just about 10K, because if you have invested 10K in shitcoin, for example, you would be already a millionaire and you wouldn't be watching that video. However, many succeeded to turn 10K into $1 million. Those who bought Bitcoin, for example, below the $100, those who bought some altcoins while they were listing. But first things first, I wouldn't suggest you do that, okay? Buying an altcoin on the cryptocurrency market is super risky. Believe me, I have done it. I have lost money with it and I have gained money with it, but it takes quite a huge experience in the field to recognize which are the potential coins when they are right there on the market, to grab them before they are launched on the exchanges. But let's leave the altcoins for a second. The question is where to invest 10K presently when everything is so expensive. The crypto market is on its record highs, the stock market is super high and everyone is speculating that it will crash. The real estates are at record highs, not just in the United States, but in Europe and all over the world. And especially with 10,000, you cannot really buy decent real estate unless you are from a small town where I was born and you buy a house in the villages. But you wouldn't really want to do that unless you want to live there, because the chances of selling such a house after that are super low. So before I give you my thoughts on where to invest 10K presently, I'll be super happy if you support the channel with a huge like. This will be useful for the YouTube algorithm and for my channel. And if you're ready, let's get to work. Alright guys, so where to invest 10K presently? And what I'm about to say right now, please don't take it as a piece of advice. You should always do your research, advice with a professionalist. The purpose of this video is just to share with you what is my personal opinion, where to invest 10K presently when everything is so expensive, right? And of course the videos are for entertainment purposes. So the first thing I'm about to say is that I would invest 50%, or in this case it would be 5,000 into Bitcoin. And you will say, wow, but it's so expensive right now, yeah? Well, back in 2017, at the beginning, I remember it very clearly. This is when I quit job and I started recording videos. The Bitcoin was about $1,000 and so many people were, oh, it's so expensive. Why you're buying a Bitcoin? How could you be trading it? So expensive. Well, now it sits at 64,000 and it's trying to break the record high we had from April. Right in here, the top actually was 64,899 according to Coinbase. Alright, so the price is never expensive, it's never cheap, it's exactly where it should be. I always like to say that the price is where the buyers meet the sellers. If the price is at 64,000, it means a lot of people are buying it and it's right where it has to be. So there is no expensive, there is no cheap price. However, I would never buy after such a move, because when the price reaches new record highs, the whales are ready to take profits. Okay, just back in March when the price was climbing to new record highs, we had what, the 58, then we reached just above the 60, then the price dropped and then it reached above 64,000 and then it dropped again, right? Another push to the 60 and then it dropped. So whenever the price reaches new record highs, the whales, the big guys that have millions in Bitcoin, they are ready to sell it and to take profit. The price drops, they buy cheaper and then they push the price again higher. This is how the market works. So what I would usually do is wait for the price to drop somewhere between 25 and 50%. So recently in May and June, the price lost over 50% just for a few days, okay? And I'm always looking at the most recent top. So whenever you see a nice top on a daily chart and you see the price starting to drop, this is where you should be ready to buy it. And recently, right in here, I will just show it to you. So the 28,000 turned out to be a strong support, not the 30,000 as everyone was saying. Then what we had this stop, and you can see that the price started to drop. So what I was doing in this case, I was taking one price measurement to see how much is the decline, and at this moment right here and this day the price dropped with nearly 20%, which is not enough for me. And then after that it dropped down to 25%, which was perfect. Okay, I'm super happy buying Bitcoin if it drops 25%. And this is the last time when I bought Bitcoin. Now the price did another impulsive move towards the new record highs, and what I would do right now, I would wait for another 25% drop. So if Bitcoin drops down to, what is it, 51,000, or let's say it retests the 50,000 support level, I'll be happy to invest 50% of this $10,000 that I took as an example in this video. Okay, so if you see the Bitcoin at new record highs, it might be a good idea to buy it, but I won't do that. Okay, I'm always waiting for the retracements, for the whales to take profits, because they are buying it when the price is cheap, not when it's expensive. Okay, when it's expensive they're taking the profits, and when the price is cheap I wait to buy, and I use at least 20 to 25%. And if I have to be precise, in this case 25% is actually down in here, okay, because it is a higher price from where we are starting, so it's down to the 47,000. I'm not saying this will happen, I don't know if it will happen. I don't care if this will happen, okay? This is super important that it took me quite a long time to realize that. Okay, I'm looking at the price, I'm waiting for the retracement. If it happens, I buy. If it doesn't happen, it's okay, I already have bought. I'm waiting for new levels to take the profit, and then I'll be taking some new trades when the price drops. If it drops. If it doesn't, I'm okay. So where presently I would invest the 10k except the Bitcoin. I said 50% in Bitcoin and another 20% goes to Ethereum. Okay, the Ethereum is the second largest cryptocurrency according to the market cap, and we are as well close to the record highs. At the current moment we have the record high from the 12th of May 2021 with the price of 4,384. Okay, this is when I was taking one of my profits. I was actually posting about it in my Patreon page, so if you want to know when I'm buying and selling crypto, check out my Patreon page below. It will be super useful for you to get the spreadsheet where I track all the coins I have. It's easy because all I do is to import the current market price and everything else calculates automatically, and as well you will get notifications from me whenever I buy or sell crypto. So if you're not following the charts all day long, I'll simply save you a lot of time. Now Ethereum is an asset that I like to trade more frequently compared to the Bitcoin, and you see that back in May it lost over 60% of its value, and with the recent drop that we had and the one I showed to you with the Bitcoin, we can see that it lost over 34% of its value. So for the Ethereum, I'm looking to buy when it drops between 30 and 60%. Okay, Bitcoin 25-50, Ethereum 30-60. The next 20% go to Apple, and this is not just because it's one of the largest companies out there, not because it is a top selling phone nowadays, but because the price of the shares form a nice uptrend. And if you look at the chart, I have the trend from the last 1 year. Obviously, if you were buying Apple back in 2020 after the Corona crash on the market, you would be on a great profit. Personally, I concentrated more of my investing and trading in the crypto market at this time. Obviously, I don't regret it, but as well, I took some Apple and I keep doing it whenever I have the retracement. So if you look at the price, you will see that back in January, the price dropped with 20%. Then later, I'm not looking at that spike over here because it's not normal. I will take just the next drop and I will consider that top over here from April. You will see that the price lost 12%, okay? And then if you look at the most recent drop that we had with a lot of speculations that the stock market is about to crash, I'm not saying it will happen, I'm not saying it will not happen, but we can notice that the price dropped with 12%. So what you can notice is that Apple is so much less volatile than Bitcoin and Ethereum, so it's considered to be more stable. And the stock market in general is considered to be more stable compared to the crypto market. So this 20% out invest into Apple when we have a drop like the one we see in front of me. And in this case, I took these breaks of the counter trend line. So the last time I have bought, Apple was at 143 and previously it was down in here at 125. Not bad trade. I will see where the market will go, but I'll be happy buying Apple whenever the price decreases more than 10% or 10 to 15%. If it's more, obviously I'm happier and I will buy more. And this is where you have to set up your mind that you should be happy when the price drops. Even you have bought already and you missed to take the profit, if you see the price dropping, be happy because you will buy more at a cheaper price. But don't forget that at one moment you have to take profits. And recently I have sold, for example, Ethereum down at 3,400 something, 480 I think it was. I posted it on my Patreon's page again. It was just when the price broke this 5 moving average. I think it was just on that day. And I have bought it previously right in here in 3,000 and the 2,500, so I was on a profit, okay? And now the price is higher, but I'm happy because I took some profit along the way. Obviously I didn't sell the whole thing, but I sold about 50% from the Ethereum that I had and I realized some profit. So if I have to summarize it, where to invest 10k presently, I would say that it is alright to buy crypto whenever the price drops. It is alright to buy stocks whenever the price drops. And you might think, okay, there are 10% left. I would strongly suggest you to invest 10% always in your skills and in your education. I've been trading on the markets for over 10 years now, the crypto market for over 5 years now, and I can tell you that every day I invest into my education. I'm taking different online courses, even I'm an online instructor, but I always have something more to learn from more experienced people. I invest in my skills about recording videos, editing videos, because I like to edit the videos by myself. I invest in my equipment because this is what makes me money nowadays as well. I invest in a better camera, a better microphone, a wider screen, which will give me a better overview of the market. So 10% of the money you want to invest, I would suggest you to use for yourself, for your skills, for your education, and for your tools, no matter what you're doing. Are you recording online courses? Are you driving your own car on your job? I would suggest you to invest some money into it so it will be safer. You get my point. Anything that will increase your skills and your knowledge and the tools that you're using to earn your income is worth it, okay? Don't hesitate spending 10% for that. Before you go, don't forget to grab some free Bitcoin in the description below if you don't have registration with some of the huge exchanges. And I'll be super happy to see your thoughts on where to invest 10k presently. Even you don't have them, just give me your idea in the comments below. I'll be super happy to discuss it. If you have any questions, I'm always there to answer. Enjoy your day and I will see you soon.